All right, where are we? We are in the Mexican Valley tournament. We're in the opening round of the, I think this is the Pro Division. The Pro Division. I'm in my 88, or excuse me, I'm in my odd account. I have no practice. I went in and I just ran a qualifying round. Quick. Just so I could get it in there so I could play it this week. And I had no time and grade or no nothing. I have no notes at all for pro, so we're just playing it blind. I should get my calculator out. I'm going to play it like it's one-on-one. We're just out there playing. We will see. I got to leave here in a second, so I can play a couple holes and then I got to leave and then I'll come back and finish it up. We're playing like we're playing one-on-one, but I'm playing with a Titan instead of a Marlin. It does seem like I need to do a little bit on this. The way that the wind's blowing, I hate to overpull too much because of this little rough area that's down here on the end. So if we're pulling to the left and we overpull, we put that little rough area into play. Nice. That works. That dog will hunt right there. The ambulance is coming for me. Ambulance. Okay, let's pull that back to the +5 mark. 7. If I add on 10, that'd be 7. There's 2, 4, 6, 7. 7. Isn't it perfect? Perfecto. Right where we wanted it. I have no idea what the adjustments are, so I'm just going to play 0. I'm just going to play wherever I'm at in my club. In rookie, we're taking wind off here, but I tried that in pro and it didn't work. We either needed to hit 0 or we needed to add wind on, so I'm just going to start at 0. The whole goal is to try and hit perfect, so we can at least get a read for the potential next round. I will keep notes. Pro. -15 to the cup and rookie, and we'll see what happens in pro. It'd be nice to just hit it perfect. See what club I'm in. What their club you're in. Close. No cigar. Had the right distance though. Hornet. Right at max Hornet. Right at max. 2 backspin. No side spin. I'm going to pull back just a little and only put 1 backspin on. Six. Be 6. There's 5. There's 6. There's 6. Oh, I knew that as soon as I released it. I think I do need to add a little bit on, but not much. Maybe 10%. Maybe 5. I should have been closer than that. On a 1 ring. We shall see. In the hole. right, hold on. All right, where are we? Hole number 2. Hole number 2. Let's see which one of the par 3s this is. This is not telling me anything, but it seems like there's a rough bump here. It does. It does seem like there is a rough bump, and I can't remember, but it seems like I do 10%. We'll see. We'll see. See if I can get it set up in a reasonable amount of time. I think there's 2 rough bumps on this one, and I'm going to do the rough bump from the pro tees on the coming at it on the right. Have no idea where I'll be in my clubs. That is the way to go. If you want to just get up there and get your birdie and move along, little doggy, that is definitely the way to go. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Okay, there's...
Ready?
Yeah.
She's ready.
Okay. Be right there.
Okay.
Six two. 6-2. There's 6. 2. Isn't it perfect? Perfecto. Need to pull a little bit more. I did 10% there, but probably needed to do 20. Let me make a note. Plus pro. Plus 20. Put some pro notes on here, so I got something next time. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I can at least have something to shoot for. NASCAR. That's exactly what it feels like here, and they put signs out on the track. Whatever Playdemic employee came up with that NASCAR thing, you guys missed the boat. You should have had signs out there. All right, I'll be back. All right, I'm back. What time is it? It is like 1:30, and I left at like 11 or 10:30 or something. So it's been a few hours. Where in the hell was I? Where was I? I had to take somebody to a doctor's appointment. All right, I'm on hole number 3. Hole number 3. Now I'm trying to prove a point here, and I haven't succeeded yet. I'm trying to prove a point that you can go out with no practice and just like mortal stuff without having to bring out any Power 5 balls, and with no practice you can just get minimum score. I'm trying to put myself in a position so that on every hole I have the opportunity. I'm doing some research on cart defenses. Alright, what hole are we on? Like if you had the Silk Road caravan defense, like what kind of stuff they would do. That's what I'm doing research on. Alright, here's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get out to here and go for it. But I can tell you that this is a pretty easy get in rookie as far as like where you can land out here. But in pro, the whole deal in pro is that even if you had a mid-level extra mile, you could probably, if you brought out a Power 5 ball, you might be able to use your quarterback. But with a 5 power ball, you can get your extra mile in a spot where you can get over to here. But with a 3 power ball, you have to stretch. You got to put some overpower and stuff on it, and it is a long ways from here. I mean, from up here it's grizzly. So we're in long iron range on this arc. So like if we were out here in the rough, we'd be nirvana away. I'm thinking that instead of trying to go at it like this, like I do in rookie, I should go at it from over here where I'm bringing the ball around and just running up the fairway. Because I could do this with an APOC, and even though my APOC doesn't have all of its topspin, it has enough to get me over there, and so it's a blind curl shot. So I'm going to practice this hole one time. This is a hole that, and I am taking some pro notes, so let me pause for a second. All right, I wrote on my notes. I went over to the other side of the page, so I've got a pro side and a rookie side. I used to have to take notes. I would play every tournament in rookie, and I would look for like what was the distance, like where did I need to be at to the green, and then I played expert and I tried to get to the same spots, and there were some times where I could get further ahead. Here we go. Let's practice. Let's practice at one time. We'll practice at once. So in the qualifying round, so I went out on Tuesday, and I don't know how many holes I was into it, and I took a putt, and it swirled the cup like 3 times and then didn't go in, and I missed the birdie because of a missed putt, and I got pissed and I stopped. I'll freely admit it. And then I went out yesterday and qualified, and I dropped like 2 shots. I came in with a 10. I'm surprised. The only reason I qualified is because this week they've got the expanded qualification zones. So, but that only works in the qualification zone. It's not in the qualifying round as well. That should be bag number 5. And I should be able, actually I might be able to do it with a katana. Where's the red line? I'm gonna bring out a power 3 ball, just because that gets me a little further up, and I gotta pull back in order to give myself enough room. I'm gonna do 2 rings off of that transitional surface, and I'm gonna do 5 topspin. Now if I do a max curl shot, the question is this, am I inside of this angle? Or am I going to over curl it if I start off 2 rings off right here? So the question is, from that angle with that topspin, I may do like 2.5 rings. And I'm at the +3 mark. So I'm at the +3. I had 5 topspin. 2.5 rings. Off. And in my rookie account, I'm doing +20 on the drive, so I'm gonna do the +20. +20. I'm using an APOC. I'm trying to set up a max curl shot. This is the first time I've taken it, so I don't know like where I'm gonna end up. It's like doing Canon stuff. I want to do exactly what my opponent did. So this is why it's so important to record your own video. They're using a power 3 ball. They probably used an APOC. They did it so I could go back. If I don't hit it, I can go back and watch their video when I'm reviewing my own gameplay. I'm at the +3 mark. Two and a half rings off. And I had 5 topspin on. I'm going to push that to the +6 mark. 6.5. So it's 1.2 times 6.2 divided by 1.3. It's 572. There's 572. So I'm a little bit into power. Max curl and a little bit of power. 75,000 rings great to the right. That was at least 2 rings great to the right. That's what we want right there. And just do a blind curl shot and bring it over there. The straight up shot from rookie is easy for anybody's clubs. And you can use a quarterback on that shot. But from pro, if I remember correctly, I struggled yesterday and I ended up getting over, but I ended up in the rough. And my notes here say, I think I need to take this straight up. wherever I'm at in my club. Grizzly. There's max grizzly. There's min. So I'm at mid grizzly, which is 1.1. I'm going to do the 6.5. I'm going to pull back as far as I can. I'm talking to myself. What's that, 4.5 backspin? $6.5. I'm just going to do the 6.5. There's 6.5. Hitting it perfect. And I would have needed to pull more. So I was at mid club. I added on 10% times the wind divided by mid club, which is 1.1, and that equals the wind. And that's what I did. But what I need to do, and that basically is 1-to-1, right? 1-to-1. Whatever the wind is. I need to add on 10% to the wind and do that. I need to go back and watch my opponents. My opponent did a good shot too, and see how they got on compared to how I got on, and see if we did the same thing. All right, let's see if that works. All right, let's play it. Let's play it. And on the shot to the cup, it's 1-to-1 plus 10%. And I moved it up to the +6 mark. I got to think about how that came in. I hit it great to the. I hit it great and it came in. I hit it great to the right, and I think it came in pretty good. So like that might have been an overcurl. I actually might need to go. Yeah. Let's think about how that works. I don't want to go that far. Alright, +6 mark, 2.5 rings off, and it was 5 topspin, 6.8, so it's 1.1 times 6.8, 7.25, 7.5 rings. There's 5, 6, 7.5. That puts me quite a bit into power. And that was the opposite way. Last time I hit it 2 rings straight to the right, and this time I hit it 2 rings straight to the left. And I think the perfect right there would be right down the middle, and there you can't have any more topspin on it. That was close. 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 Blind curl. I don't know what other people call those shots, but for as long as I've been shooting videos, to me that's what is a blind curl. That's a setup shot. So you get on a certain hole and you know, hey, I'm trying to bring the ball around there, and I've got the club that I'm going to have to use is a rock. And so I'm going to have to bring out a power 4 ball, and I'm going to set it up 4.5 rings off of the transitional surface there with 2 backspin and do max curl. And the ball's going to be able to make it around that bend and put me in front of those trees where everybody else is having to lay up behind it or try to hit through the trees. All right. I had like 5 or 6 backspin on here. There's 5 backspin. $7.5, 1.1 times 7.5, 8.25. There's 5, 6, 7, 8.25. Hitting it perfect. We'll see if I got any better than from my practice round. I am closer. That's about half the distance I was in the practice round. So I added on 10%. So I'm going to change that to 20. 1-to-1 plus 20%. If you practice a lot, you can go out there and try those numbers until you can really find, you can keep practicing the number until you find the one that works, like where you're in the range. And then you might have to add on like a plus 0.1 or a minus 0.1. If you have good notes, and the best way to take notes is to do this right here, is to record your own video. And it's not just to watch yours. Your opponent does a lot of stuff. You can learn a lot from your opponent. And if you see, I have on several occasions found somebody who was practicing a max overpower hook shot, where they were practicing a shot and they tried it and they missed it. And while I was watching them do their shot, I was able to figure out that, hey, if you'd have moved that over one more ring to the right, that shot would have made it. And so I'll go out there and switch my stuff up to the same thing they had and take that shot so that they can see what the deal is. If they recorded their own video, they got to see theirs and then they got to see mine. And sometimes mine works out and sometimes we needed to go another step further. It especially works out good when you're doing shots like that and it goes in the drink so you can take it over and over. Play hole number 4. Hole number 4. All right, I have decided, I think, in rookie, there is, but I'm not willing to do it. There is a rough bump that you can do that goes down there, and you have to bring the right stuff, and you can go at it. And I don't think that this rough bump is available from rookie, unless you have like a 4 or 5 sidesman ball, because you're going off at too much of an angle trying to bring it in. But I'm going to play off of this island, and I literally have no idea what the numbers are, because this hole doesn't play right. So my whole goal is just to get up there, and if I find that I'm having a problem on this island of just getting over and making sure that I get a birdie on this hole, I'm going to bring a Guardian with whatever ball it takes, and I'm going to stick it up here, and it doesn't matter if I needed to pull up 5 extra squares, it's going to end up on the green, and I can make my putt and move on to the next hole. But I'm going to try this island. I have got, this hole right here has caused me a little bit of problems in pro, just because I can't. And what I should do is I should come out here with a Quasar, because I know I played this hole with a Quasar and I figured out some way to get on the hole with a Quasar. That's what I should do. That's what, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't think you can, I'm going to take a Katana, because I think a Katana gives you all the best of, it gives you the stuff. And I want to make sure I have a bag that has a Guardian, just in case the Guardian option comes out. I should see what my Guardian options are first. Let's practice this hole. Let's practice at one time. This is a hole that's definitely worth practicing. I think this is one of those holes that if you go out there, I think there is a way to get a hole in one. And there's somebody out there that's probably figured it out, and it's like more power to them. But I think for the majority of the bracket, if you go through your top 100 at the end of the round, you're going to find that the number of people who failed on this hole is going to be probably the highest percentage in the tournament. There's several holes in this tournament that you can mess up on, and I'll wait until I get done with the round before but this has got to be one of the top. It's one of the top 3 for sure. There's a rough bump that you can do from down in here, that if you get down into this triangle right here, you've got a little bit more maneuverability. This tree is there, but so you can't really, you don't want to have to put curl on it. But the lower you go down into that spot, the more you have to have in order to bring it back to the cup. I'm just going to play it as if it was a shootout and just trying to get close, and then I can go back and look at what I did. I'm just going to play it intuitively. Okay, Grizzly. Guardian. Where's my min? There's min Guardian. There's max. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start wherever 100 backspin will work. I got plenty of room here. Let's see if I can bring it down the hill. I'm gonna start right on the same plane as it. 5.7. It's 1.1 per ring at max. So I'm going to do 1.2 times 5.7 divided by 1.1. 6.21 rings. That's a 20%. And I hit a 1 ring grade to the right. I was running out of time. And there's no suck back, so like there's no suck back. So you got to get on the cup, you got to get your ball terminated at the cup, but that's how I'm going to play it. I think I had enough room in that Guardian that if it was a headwind day or a tailwind day or whatever, but I'm not going to have any problems on this hole if I play it with a Guardian. And a cat. And I can change that ball. I can go to a 3-power ball if I need the extra headroom. I don't think there's enough room there for me to try a dunk. If there is enough room, next time we are practicing. So I am going to play that hole this way. So when we get out there, I'm going to check, because if there is a dunk and it's a matter of bringing out a 3-power ball, and you can still, if you put on all your backspin and you can stick yourself back to the green or right on the fringe without getting in trouble, I'm going to go for the dunk, because I at least feel like if I hit it perfect, I have a shot. Hole number 4. Yeah, that's what I'm playing. That's how I'm playing that hole. Guardian and a cat. And I did 20% right there, and I can't tell because I didn't hit it perfect. I'm going to still stick with the 20%. I wrote it down. I even wrote it down, and I have it in my calculator. We're going to go old school. If you watch my videos for a long time, when I first started, a lot of the par 3s, this is exactly how I played them. I figured out what ball it would take to play it with a Guardian. I came out there and I put max backspin on it, and I figured out, I tried to find a spot where like my red ring was here. I put on this much spin, and then I found the spot, and that spot was going to be where my red ring was off of the transition, and I could go back out there and put it in that spot, and then I could make an adjustment from there. The worst thing that can happen, even if you slice it, the worst thing that can happen is you're going to end up on the green. Max backspin, no side spin. No, I'd have to bring out a much bigger ball in order to do it, and it wouldn't be able to stop it. But I do need to be at the cup. I'm going to put that bounce in the cup. Times 6.2 divided by 1.1, 676. There's 5676. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if we can get that second bounce in the cup. No, not even close. Which way's the wind blowing? I would have had to pull the wind. Shit, I'd have had to pull 50%. That ball was way in front. I'll have to go back and rewind that and look where that first bounce down at the bottom hit, how close it was to the rough. The plane that I was on, you can go back and rewind it to the spot where you can see where I set it up. The plane that I was on, the wind was blowing like this. I was afraid that I could over pull it and end up in the rough. But I might have had room there that I could have did a 50% and just to test it out. All right. We're making notes. We're trying to make it through the opening round. It's a draw. Birdie. All right, hole number 5. That was hole number 4.
Bye.
Bye, baby. Is she all right? Is she all settled? Okay. Hole number 5. What is hole number 5? Let's see, is it any different for pro? My notes for Ricky say APOC and a power 5 ball. Now, what I'm trying to do here is get around this bend and get the run at the cup. And I really think a Kingmaker is the deal, but I came out here, and so here's what I did. This is a good time to walk through this. In this corner, you got a rough angle that runs like this, so we're on this plane. And we've got this, and we've got rough that runs around underneath of the tree and comes out like this. So we're trying to find a window. So in Rookie, with a 5 power ball, you got a window right here. And you don't have a whole lot of room in front of you. So if it was a pure headwind day, you might have to do a little bit of overpower, but you can start your shot off right there. In Pro, you can't get to there. But you can get to here in Rookie without doing any overpower. If you have a 5 power ball and an APOC. You can get there with an extra mile, you're just back just a little teeny bit, you're just a little bit more to the left. But from the Pro Tee, you can't get there, you can get to this tip. You can cheat, and you can bring out a bigger curl club, like an APOC, where you can start off on this, so you've got this rough plane that runs here, and you can start out here in front of it and try and make it so that you got more fairway in front of you here, and then expect that you can get more curl on the other side to swing this angle. And so you can do that with an APOC. But I did a max curl shot and I set up to the left over here, and the shot was set up on this side. This side I think was really good. But when I came through on the arc to hit that angle, I clipped the trees out here, and it threw me over into this shed. I actually had a shot still at the green, but it definitely, a max curl shot can get caught in the trees, especially if you're leading out to the left. Now it seems to me that from up here in Rookie, I've done some max curl shots, but you don't have to do max curl if you're in this spot. But I have done some max curl shots from inside, where I'm using the wind trying to throw me forward, and been able to make it. But you can clip these trees out here, so you got to watch the curl. You got to watch the curl. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to bring that bag right there. My bag. I need to use that thorn on some of these holes. And for ball, I'm going to bring a Kingmaker. The Kingmaker. And a Berserker would work better. And we are playing in a tournament, so I'm going to bring a Berserker. Alright, here we go. And what am I doing on the drive in Ricky? I'm doing plus 10 on the drive, so 1.1 times. I'm not doing the shots to the cup that I'm doing in Ricky, but if I am adding on wind in Ricky, I'm definitely adding on the same wind here. I may need to add on more. I just do not see a clean path to the green. I'm not saying you couldn't get on the green on the right hand side from that center path, but I don't see that being consistent. And my opponent did not do max curl, and they're gonna make it around. Did they get the right bounce? In the sand. Not close. 1.1 times the wind. 8.5 divided by 1.3. I'm going to be right there. The wind's blowing me 8.5. So it'll be 7.19 rings. 5, 6, 7, 1, 9. I'm going to push all that forward distance back on there. and I hit it 2 rings great on the outside. That put me into the trees. Did I clip it? I'll have to go back and see what I did right there, but I don't think that a perfect would have worked. I think I needed to move my trajectory. I needed to move over from my starting spot like a ring, one direction or the other. This is the benefit of recording your own videos. You can go back and you can rewind it and find out exactly what you did. You're getting the benefit right now when you're watching it, is that you can go back there and do it, and so you can work the notes, get you a start. Chip in to win. All right, we got this. We have the shot in our bag. All we have to do is hit perfect. This distance. One ring great to the right. Arr. That would have been a good eagle to get. So I brought out an APOC. I did +10. I had a berserker. We're trying to get on or bust. We're gonna have to set that up from day to day, depending on which way the wind's blowing through that alley. But those trees over there, I got lucky that I didn't hit those trees, because I hit it 2 rings great. If I remember correctly, let me think if I can remember in my mind's eye, I hit it 2 rings great on the outside. And not only did it put me in risk of these trees, but where it came in on the other side, I think it came in close along this edge, which means that I would have needed to push that shot out in order to bring it in. I think if I would have hit it perfect, I would have ended up in the rough up here. I would have over curled it. Not as much curl. I can see down here where I pulled it on my line. I can't remember, I just pulled it. But I'll be able to go back and watch the video. If anybody wants the material cue, I was looking for it. I actually need to set some stuff up for the material cue, if you're all interested, because if you run an Android device, I run on my grid like very little. I'm sure a lot of you are like, why don't you have more lines? And there are some lines that I think I'm going to add to my grid. I should do a whole video on it. If anybody out there wants me to do a video on the grid, I would love to do a video on the grid. All right, hole number 6. Hole number 6. I gotta look at it. Shit, we got a plan. We're playing a tournament. I'm trying to make it through. Okay, I went out here. If you end up into this stuff with a Nirvana, you can recover. It's a struggle. And depending on how far back here you are, you may have to land on this and then bring it over, which only gets you to here. And it can be a stretch to get over. So you really, if you're going to fail with your Nirvana, you want to fail in front of this line. And then and I will tell you, there is an island that you can use here where you can bring it over, and you just have enough topspin with the Nirvana where you can bring it over. You really need to know what the wind adjustment is over here. It's easy to overshoot the cup and end up in the back in the rough, because you got to run enough topspin to get over, and then when you hit the green, it wants to run. So unless you're closer, I'm actually thinking that over here might be the way, but in rookie it's fairly easy to get over here. But in pro, unless you bring out a really big ball, like if you bring out a power 3 ball, your best bet is to come through here and clip this rough and bleed out and end up out here so that you've got this straight up shot. Try and end up But if you brought out a bigger ball, you could get further out there. But I'm not so sure that if you didn't bring out a bigger ball, you could. But this down here is a crapshoot, and you might have to bring out a topspin boost ball, or you might have to. You're definitely gonna, and it's a crapshoot. You might end up in the rough trying to go for that pad. But if you're going for out here, you can shoot for a spot, and it gives you a pretty decent shot. I think if you're in here, you're in long iron, and if you're out here, you're in wood. But it gives you a pretty decent shot from out here. And this might be short iron, and this might be long iron. I can't remember, but I'm gonna play to the left. And I don't know that I've played that direction before, so I just want to try it out and see like what it looks like out there, because sometimes getting to a more consistent spot and taking the same shot to the cup over and over is a bigger payoff. Hole number 6. And I'm gonna bring, to get this mystical stuff done, I'm gonna start off with that bag, but I want to switch. I want to switch it up. I really like to take the, let me switch that bag up real quick. Sorry, let me add that bag, because I want to use my thorn, because there's one of the holes here I'm using it, so I want to use it on, I want to try it out, because it has great ball guide. And it has great, I mean, the accuracy doesn't really matter. You still have to pull the club for the thing, but it's got great ball guide, and it has so much ball guide that when you put its backspin on, you can see the tail. But if you're just shooting a normal topspin shot, it's a really good. And usually with my short iron, I try and put on like 2 backspin. So I'm going to use my thorn. That's the bag I'm going to take, right there, and I'm going to take that ball. Why not? Why not? I'm a big boy. Here we go. I'm getting out on the course. We're walking on the course, and there's a road right next to us. I'm playing one of the municipal courses. And a lot of the private courses, but the private courses can set up far enough away from the road for the holes. If you go to the Masters, if you go to Augusta, it's got roads to go all the way around it. Access stuff so that they can bring stuff into different parts of the course. Yeah, my opponent's going that direction as well. I'm thinking if you can get, I don't know, they're using a power 3 ball, but if you can get into that mid zone right there where you can squeeze up, you can get a little bit straighter run on the other side. I really would like to try and hit it without doing any overpower, but because it's a pretty, the first bounce you can be, if you hit it wrong, you're close on one side, but if you hit it the other way, then the second bounce is going to get caught up. It's one of those types of deals. I'd really like to be 2 rings off of that. Seven, 4. There's 6, 5. In this particular situation, I'm going to put all that forward power back on. Isn't it perfect? Let's see if I can finesse it over there. Too much curl. Too much curl, or I could set it up in that same spot. But what I was having an issue with there was I was trying to get closer to the right, or excuse me, the left, and I could have actually from that position hit it closer. I could have pulled it to the right and gave myself more room, and ended up, I'll have to go watch the video on that and see where I could have set it up at the beginning and used that same curl, mark it on my curl line. This grid that I have on here, I have a very minimalistic grid, and I actually need to change my midline line, my straight line. You can see the color of it. the green, the fairways used to be that dark color, and they've lightened it up a little bit. And sometimes it gets in my way, and I need to change its color. I need to find a color that's halfway between what the rough is and what the fairway is, so that when I'm looking, because there's sometimes your grid gets in your way, and like you think you'd want it to be bright colors, but you really want it to be, you may not. You may find that's not the best. Let's give myself room to work out the wind. Like right there, my grid was in the way. .4. I'm going to add on 10, so that'd be 7. There's 6, 7. Exactly. Hitting it perfect. Get in the hole. Man, I did not pull that enough. From where I was at, that must have been, shit, that was way off. It must have been like a 30 or 40%. I was at max club, so it's 2 per ring, and I was at max. I barely had enough room to give myself room for the wind. I really don't like taking rough shots with overpower if I can help it, unless I'm doing a max curl. All right, what hole are we on? We used the Berserker 2 holes in a row. Look at that. And this one, I need work on my trajectory. This is another one of those blind curl shots. So it's a setup shot. You need to go out there and have on your notes like how many rings off and how much top spin. And then you're just doing a max curl shot. You can do the same thing with a max overpower shot. If you need to do a max overpower hook shot, you can do the same thing. You can go out there and find the spot and then move over the rings, and then you can mark yourself on the course. Your white ring is off of this transition. You go out there and set it up in that spot and work your wind out. All right, hole number 7. What is hole number 7? I don't think I've picked anything up yet. And hole number 7 is a shit. This is another one of those holes. I'm going to practice this hole. This is another one of those holes that I think there's, if you're doing the lily pad, it's got lily pad 1, lily pad 2, and then the green, and there's a little strip in between it. If you're playing off the third pad and doing the bounce that he bounced, there's a rough bump. And if you're doing the rough bump, the difference between doing the rough bump and not doing the rough bump is like minuscule. And so you can miss the rough, or you can clip the rough, and typically if you're trying to just get up there, you'll clip the rough and bleed out. But if you miss the rough, it could be bad. It could be. Sniper. All right, let's switch balls here. Let's switch this up to a Marlin. And let's switch to bag number 4. And let's see if we can stick that ball to the cup. Is there enough room for us to start off on the green? We can do a rough bump down here with our sniper if we knew what the number is. And this is a, where are we in our club? There's min, there's max. So at the rough bump, I'm at about mid club, which is, let's make sure I'm in practice, which is 1.3 per ring. And we could try a rough bump from down there. I think the wind, and that is all the backspin. We could try that if we were really going for it. This is one of those holes that I think is another one of those holes that is going to have a high percentage of fail at the end of the week. Like there may be a par 5 that a lot of people had struggled on and they didn't get the eagle, because there are some of those out there. It's hard to get an eagle. There are some holes out there that it's a eagle hole with an Albie opportunity that are hard to get the eagle. But if you can get to the spot where you give yourself a shot for the for the Albie, you got a pretty easy eagle, but getting to that spot is pretty tough. Practice, 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 practice. And that is way the hell downhill. And that was one less than max backspin. Okay, I'm at mid club, and I'm gonna do 20%. I'm gonna do 30% times 7.2, and that's just a 7.2 pull. I'm just gonna do the wind. There's 5, 6, 7, 2, and we'll see where I end up. Perfect, perfect, because that wind is blowing right, like, and I from where I started, like I was hell and gone away from that. Like the wind wasn't even blowing on that plane, I didn't think. I'll have to go back and watch the video on how that was set up, because I thought the wind, like the rough was like this, I thought the wind was blowing like right along the rough. Like there was no way I was going to end up forward or back. If it pushed me off, it was like if I was off of the cup to the right, on here, my first bounce would have been off. I didn't think that this stuff was even in play and was that short. It might be one of those deals where we have to work out the wind. There's some spots in the game that are like this, where you have to work the wind out, but on top of that, you have to push it one ring forward in order to hit that spot, or a half a ring or a quarter of a ring forward in order to hit the spot where it's down the hill. That would be interesting. Let me practice that one more time. Let me practice that one more time. Let me think about how that shot worked out. Hole number 7, let's practice it one more time. We'll practice it one more time. One more time. I think the way to do it is just go down there with your sniper and start off on the mid tier one, and just try and get a spot where you can get up on the green and stick it up there. But I know that I personally have tried the one where you're bounce steady, rough, bumpy, roll out to get to it. I've played all of those shots depending on which way the wind was blowing with my Marlin. That's why when you're out there on the golf course and people are yelling, you'll get jacklegs that'll yell out of their car windows and stuff. I don't even pay attention to that shit. I've been at sporting events where there's thousands of people, and like if you're a competitor and you're out there on the court or on the mat or on the field, the people that are in the stands are like, you don't even notice them. You don't even hear them. We are practicing one more time. Okay, that wind looks like it's blowing. Okay, it was max -1 backspin. I mean, I am in the middle of that. I'm closer to the front of that than the back. 7.5. Did I have my angle wrong last time? There's 5, 6, 7, 5. Hitting it perfect. And I underpulled it with the 30%. And it was 1 point. The reason I did that is a 1.3. If I add on 30%, it's at 1.3 per ring. So those balance each other out, and it just becomes 1-to-1. So I'm going to add on 10% onto 1-to-1. Maybe 20. And do a 50. 50% at max club. I can think of another par 3 that I play where I play a max backspin shot with a Grizzly. And it's at 50%. At 1-to-1, even though I'm not at minimum club or mid or max club. It's a draw. All right, are we playing this for real now? We are playing this for real. Okay, so what am I going to do here? I'm going to do .5 times the wind divided by 1.3. So I'm going to add on 20%. I was playing it at 30% at mid. Now I'm going to play it at 50% at mid. Here we go. Here we go. Getting out on the course. Outspoken. And this would be nice to have a low wind ball. A low wind power too. See if we can get my trajectory right. I didn't catch on the last video whether the spin was right. This is what I'm talking about on the bounce diddy bounce, where you can get your second bounce down on the hill and do a rough bump. But it plays weird down there, and I found myself on times where I thought I had plenty of room in the rough bump. The second bounce is in the rough, but the third bounce is right in front of the rough. And so it clips you got several cuts down there, and what it does is if it makes it out and then clips the lighter cut of rough, it'll bleed out. But if it clips the double rough twice, you could be in trouble. All right, let's put the wind in. Let's put the wind in and go for it. .68. I'm going to move it. 7.84 rings, and it is max -1 backspin, no side spin. And I want to go straight at it. I'm right in front of it. Trying to be as many rings into the rough as possible. .84 rings. 5, 6, 7, 8, 4. I hit it great. The good thing is that it has so much backspin on it for that spot that if you clip up on the front, it'll roll up down to the bottom. So like if it fails to the back, it looks like it fails okay. But if it failed on the front, I think it would still fail okay. I think the deal there is you have to hit it perfect. The perfect went through. The great did not. All right, put the ball to draw. And we were playing that one. All right, playing it. Playing it. What hole was that? That was hole number 7. I didn't write down any notes. This is why it's so important to record your own video. You can go back and watch it again. Hole number 7. That was a Guardian. Now, I was using a Marlin ball right there, but I could have used a lower wind ball so that I wouldn't have had to involve the sand. And a precision ball would help. So like a low power, 0 power, precision. Max -1 backspin, plus 50% at mid. All right, which is 1.3 per ring. 1.3 per ring. I have notes now for that. I wrote them down now. That's a hole that I think that I'm looking for fail spots there. I don't want to be able to. I don't want to. If it fails, I want it to fail in my direction. So it looked to me like if it doesn't get down into this for whatever reason, I have no idea why it was going down there. I have no idea what will happen on days when the wind's blowing a different direction. Because especially on a headwind day, it compresses those backspins so much that it can do some weird stuff on a headwind day, especially when you're dropping elevation. But if my fail point is clipping up here and then it still has all that backspin on it and just backspins up on the green, that's not bad. I think if it hit farther forward, it would still stick to the green. I think. I hope. Hole number 8. Hole number 8. What is hole number 8? All right. Let's bring the right shit. I really am in rookie digging this area over here instead of trying to get up into this neck. Now, I'm always a big fan of trying to get, because we have, whenever it's open like this where it runs all the way to the green, there's like, can we figure out a way to get on the green? Or how close can we get? Because we can get as close as we can get. I mean, if we get any closer, we're on the green. The deal is that there's a ridge that runs out here, and this is an S, and where we're starting off, where's our tee box? Where we're starting off down here, we're starting off like down in this corner, and so if we drew a straight line to the flagpole, we're on this trajectory, so we've got to start off over here, and our apex for, like the spot is way back here or here. And so by the time we get to the angle that we went out here, we're only this far in our shot, and so it takes us right into the drink. So our only hope is to try and hit it straight forward and just get down here as far as we can. Well, there's a ridge here, and everything on this side of the ridge runs down here where you can get in the drink, and everything here feeds you off into the rough. And it's super easy to end up in the rough, the sand, or the drink. I'm not saying that you can't get to a good area. And if you get there, you get a beautiful shot. But it can be tough. So you can try and lay it up over here, but shit, if you're going to lay it up back this far, you have a shitty second shot. And you have to kind of work to get this shot. So hell, if I'm going to have to work to get this shot, I might as well work to get this shot. And from up here, if you have a thorn, you can get into your short iron range from here, and if you have a thorn, it's max backspin, and you got a beautiful shot at it. The trick is getting up in here far enough, and I think the deal was with a 3-power ball, you got to make sure you get your distance. You've got to. What do I have for balls? What do I have a lot of? Do I have anything that I have a lot of? Got 16 berserkers. That's my extent of a lot of balls. I have 50 of these power 3 balls. 4 side spin, 4 wind. Let me bring one of those. The side spin might help me. And I'm not going to practice, but I do want to make sure I bring a bag with a thorn in it. I'm going to bring that bag right there just in case. If I'm not, that bag will work. Alright, I have no idea what I'm doing on hole number 8 on the drive. My notes for rookie say plus 20 on the drive. So let's start there. 1.2 times the wind divided by 1.3. Alright, there's max at the plus 16. There's max topspin with 3 side spin. So if I ride the line across, pull it back a little, pulled it back to the plus 8 mark, and I'm like half my white ring out into the fairway. 4 miles an hour, 4, it's 3.7, 3.7 rings. Let's get lined up with the wind. 3.7. Hitting it 1 ring great to the right. I want to see if I got to get all the way, like from right there, I'm probably going to be in long iron range. And do I need to do overpower on it and really curl it, or how do I need to play that shot? I think I'm in my long iron range. I think I needed to be from where I'm at. I'm kind of on this line right here, and I needed to be from where I'm at to the tip. I need to be at least halfway in order to be in maximum short iron. If I brought out a power 5 ball, I could probably get away with where I'm at. But if I brought out a power 5 ball, I would have been able to start off more to the left and further forward. I pulled back from the red line there because if we have a headwind day, I can take that same exact shot and I can just work the wind out and I'll end up in the same spot. So we're going to get a good experience here on distance. And I think I'm going to be just a little short. I am. But I might have enough room here with the backspin. And it is 5.5. And I am in, where am I at? I'm in Max Club. 5.5. Max Thorn's 1.8 divided by 1.8 is 305. Let's see, I have no idea where I'm at. Isn't it perfect? I have no idea what kind of an adjustment I may need. Like in Rookie, I have, like right there, I did not pull that enough. It pushed me to the right of the cup. So in Rookie, I've got plus 25. So I'm going to start there, plus 25 to the cup. And just make sure my Thorn, and I was at 1.8 per ring. And I didn't have much room there, so if there would have been a big headwind day, I would have needed to be a little bit farther forward than where I was at. That was an APOC. Max topspin with a Berserker. Did I bring a Berserker on that? No, I brought that power 3 ball. And I didn't really need the side spin on it, so that might be a waste of a ball. I think I did eke some on, but I was trying to eke it on because I knew I had access to it, and I was trying to see if I could eke on 3. I think a Kingmaker, just a regular Kingmaker, might work. What would work better is a power 4 ball. Power 4 ball is the one in between, like a 4-4-4 working man's ball. That ball, you could get up there, you wouldn't have to do any curl because you could take care of it with side spin. And you'd have that extra little bit of power to make sure that you got into your short iron range and gave yourself enough room that on a headwind day you could still work the wind out. You don't need a lot of room because shit, that club hits. Even if you were in Max Club, it's 1.8 per ring, so let's just say 2 per ring. So if you gave yourself 3 rings of separation, you could work out most wind angles, unless it was due headwind. All right, hole number 9. Hole number 9. Am I going to have a round where I actually have a clean round? I didn't pick anything up, but I had a clean round. I actually had some shots at some of the holes. I came out with a game plan on some of them. All right. In Rookie, we try and get to here, and you got to get through this rough area, and it's at the end of your run. And I'm not sure that I think we start off here, and we have to do a bounce to get the hell over to this area, and it can be a struggle. I think if you might be able to hit it over into here, and you have a T rough bump, but it is a shallow ass rough bump. I'm not so sure that if I couldn't get over here, I couldn't get over here. I don't know. I have no idea. Let's practice it. Let's practice one more hole. You're getting a pro look at the opening round. I'll take some notes on the front, and then I can just play the. I'll have more. I did not take any notes on holes number 1, 2, 6, so I'll have to go back and watch the videos on those. Or I can just reinvent the wheel. 2, 1, Mexican, Valley. Number 6. Hole number 9, practice. I see the practice. I practice. Now, our goal is to get over into that zone, but with what I'm saying is with a headwind, I'm not sure we can always get over there unless we bring out something like really extraordinary. Because you can get over to the rough area over there, but like trying to make sure that you can get enough oomph to get on it. Really want to get where that second bounce has got the most loft. I'm just wondering if hitting, like looking at the angles here, if like hitting it up into that, if we brought out a bigger power ball. I'm just wondering if we have any looks at going straight forward. I think in rookie we might. We might have, I'm not sure if we do here unless we brought out like a topspin boost ball. Like if we had a power 5 ball with a topspin boost and we had some kind of an angle along this plane where we could cheat over on this side. If we could make it over to this side and cheat just a little bit, we could try and get our curl and our side spin involved to throw it that direction. I'm not sure that we can do that in rookie. That we might not have just as good a chance on that side as we do of trying to get to that over here. Practice. And that's, now we're going to get to see, because I'm going to go to the other side, we're going to get to see what the angles are, because I'm going to try and make sure that I can stay in the fairway. I want to see if I have an angle. I do have an angle over there, but what happens when I put all the topspin on? Like, I'm going to be lucky on that little island right there if I can stick way over in that corner. I'm not so sure I can do that with a power 3 ball. Swap balls. Just a power 3. But I couldn't do that with a Titan. I'm just going to try and throw the ball over there and get into that spot so that I can see what it looks like from that side versus this side. And we know we can do it with the power 5 ball, and now we know we can do it with the power 3 ball. Get down into the end. Now you're right behind the trees. This is the deal with my opponent's spot. If you hit to that, you got to have, what I would bring out on this is I would bring out my bigger wood. I would make sure I've got my Cataclysm with me, or my Guardian, so that I'm hitting as far forward. My calculator just died. I'm sitting on the back porch and my phone's been buzzing at me that it was running out of juice. I'll have to pause here in a second so I can plug it in. I won't have a calculator for this, so I'll have to do it in my head. We'll see if I can remember how to do math. I'm not sure I like the look when you're coming down there, especially if you got a sniper. Like bringing a bigger hitting wood would have been much better. Yeah, because that kind of shit right there can happen. Utter garbage, that's right. And I'm going to be behind the trees. So we'll see if these trees are big enough that you can hit through them, or if you get caught up in them. I'm caught up in them. So we're going to get a good tutorial here. Like this is where I'm looking at the angle, like where's my Max Guardian? There's Max. Right in this area right here. I actually got a little bit of a hint of ball guide. I'm going to put on that much backspin. I'm going to go right to there. Now I'm going to move out the wind. 7, 7, 7, 7. I'm going to do a max curl. Perfect. Let's see if I can weave myself around those trees. Nope, I got caught up in them. I could have did the straight up shot with the backspin, just try and get up there, but I wanted to see if I could get around those, if I had enough curl to get me around the trees. I got diverted with the spots where I could actually hit up there. Alright, so if I want to lay up where my opponent laid up, I'm going to have to bring out a big hitting wood. Or I'm going to have to risk going forward. And if I risk going forward, I'll have to bring out a big power ball. And I could put myself in a spot where I've got to do quite a bit of work with my Nirvana in order to get me up there. I'm going to try where my opponent was at. Take the shot. Aerial cam. I'm going to forfeit the match. Good game. Hey, good luck in the tournament. Good luck, my man. All right, hole number 9. I'm gonna bring. I want to bring. Do I have a club that's got a Cataclysm? I do, and I got a big Tapa. Big Tapa. And for balls, I'm gonna bring a Titan, the king of balls. I'm going to bring a Kingmaker because I think at the end, on both of the shots, I might need a little bit of side spin, but it can't hurt on the second shot depending on where I'm at. And I'm going to do 10%. What do my notes say? 10 plus 10 to the club plus 20 on the drive for Ricky. Plus 20 plus 10. I'm using an APOC and a power 3 ball, and I'm trying to lay it up with our APOC power 3 ball, trying to lay it up to get it into my Cataclysm range. And I'm using a big Tapa, the big Tapa. Big Topper 8. It's got all of its power, all of its topspin. It has all of its topspin for its entire life. It's the big Tapa. I need to get somebody. I need to get my buddy Scooby on. He's from Yonkers, and I need to get him on and say Big Tapa. It's a big Tapa. Now, that might be Boston. I don't know. I don't know what those East Coast accents are. No bueno. Come on. I got stuck in these screens the other day. We'll play it out. I'll play the rest of this just out of my head. No calculator, no app, no nothing. Just I have a sheet with numbers. I know the numbers. They're written on my sheet. And what I don't have on my sheet, I have on my notes. Please wait. We're trying to reconnect you. Yeah, connection lost. Your connection is not stable enough. Why is it always our connection is not stable enough? Hey. Reload. Matt. Yeah, I want to reload this game. Let's completely get out of the golf clash and get back in it. Some type of error. Here we go, playing hole number 9. Let's go back. Let's make sure that it didn't. That we got the right stuff. We got the right ball. The big topper hits 10 yards back from the APOC, but I think it actually has better ball guide. Other than the distance, it has better ball guide. It has more curl. Or the same curl. I think it actually has more curl. It definitely has more topspin. It's lacking 10 yards in raw distance, but it's like and it might be 8. It might, can't remember if it's 230 or 232. It's 2 per ring. It might be 1.9, but I always counted it 2. It's kind of like the extra mile. I think it's 2.1, but I always counted it 2. Makes the math easy. Plus 20 on the drive. Nice. That works. That works, my friend. That is right where I'm hitting. Big top. I'm going to pull back a little from the red line. I'm at the plus 6 mark. 4 topspin, 5 topspin. How's that rolling out? I'm going to pull back to the plus 4 mark. And run just 4 topspin. And 1 side spin. 5, 5. I'm going to do 6. So 3 rings, which is actually 6-3 if you're counting. Or it could be 5-7. I can't remember. I think I would have rather been, even if I didn't pick up any distance, I would have rather been to the left of where I'm at. I would have rather been where my opponent's at, so that it lines up more with this runway, so that where you're pinching off against this rough, instead of being at this angle, you're more at this angle, so you don't have to have as much side spin to get back around to the cup. I don't think even with a 3 side spin ball I'll have enough at my angle. I would if I was trying to do the rough bump along here and I think you have to have a Goliath if you want to do this rough bump. It would be nice if you could do it down in this area here where you're rough bumping it, so that you've got a little bit more maneuverability. We'll have to see what the look is down here. I have no idea. It's got to be wood all the way. And my wood also has lots of topspin. My opponent has some work left. Yes, that can happen. Alright, I have to do the math in my head. It's plus 10%. And it's at max club. I'm going to be 2 rings off. I'm going to put 2 topspin on. Let's see where that terminates. I'm going to be 3 rings off. It's 20% or 10% would be 5, 5, so that'd be 6. It's 1.4 per ring. So I'm going to move it 4 rings. Max curl. And 7,000 rings grade on the inside. And if I'd hit it perfect, I would have over curled it and been on the inside. I left myself 3 rings down there. I could have left myself like 4. The whole idea with that type of shot is that you can, I damn near good at it. I can't believe that wasn't a good. You could good it on either side and still end up on the green. Close. My opponent made it in the hole. In the hole. Did I have a clean round? Am I gonna, if I make this putt or this chip, am I gonna have a clean round? I think I have a chip. Still got work to do. It is work that can be done. Isn't it dead center perfect? In the hole. All right, I had a clean round. Look at that. Just a clean round. Nothing good. But I think if I go back and watch that and pay attention to what I did on each hole, I got some pretty good notes. I think there was only a couple holes that I failed on the drive that were blind curl shots that I need to go back and watch that video so that I can adjust my trajectory. The best place to adjust your trajectory is always on that first spot. So like if I moved it out 2 rings, like from where I ended up here, I over curled it. So if I moved it out 2 rings, where would that have put my second bounce? Where did my second bounce happen? How close was it? Sometimes you'll find that by moving it out, it not only helps on the very end, but it helped right here. Right here you were really close. And so it straightens out that whole shot. But now you got to start watching about stuff on the other side that you're not swinging it back around and putting that stuff into play. How much of an S are you trying to straighten out? That's why you record your own video. It's important. You should still watch my video, but because maybe I can give you some insights on shit you're supposed to look for, but you should record your own video. You'll become a much better player, especially if you keep notes. All right, there you have it. And that's not going to qualify. Qualification zone. I haven't. We still have a back 9 to play. I got you. All right. Woo. Wow, I was looking at that going, wow, I can't believe I shot the minimum score and it didn't qualify. You would think that the minimum score would qualify here. But no dice. I came in with a really weak qualifier. I came in with a 10. I'm surprised I even qualified. I dropped some shots. A clean round. Thanks for watching. That was a look at Pro. But I will continue to play my 77 account Ricky because I enjoy Ricky. It's more fun. And it doesn't cost anything. Thanks for watching.